For more on the efforts, I'm joined by Saruhan Hatipoglu. He's the CEO of Business Environment, Risk and Intelligence. Welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
India is a topic that we have talked about. We talked about it before he was elected. We talked about it after he was elected. Very quickly, how do you think he's actually done?
I think he surprised a lot of people, including myself. I didn't think he was going to be this ambitious with reform measures. And he has certainly introduced different ideas. He was able to put the party together, which a lot of people said, well, there's going to be a lot of disagreements within the BJP, especially with the reform measures in the insurance industry as well as the energy in the coal sector. So he's done pretty well, and the economic numbers are not lying either, with industrial production up, average consumer prices down. Most likely the central bank is going to reduce interest rate. Investment activity is going to pick up. He's done well.
So going forward, do you feel good?
I do feel good, though there are a lot of risks, because we're talking about, again, within the BJP, there's a group that is vehemently against reform measures. And the expectation on Mr. Modi is also very high, based on what he's done in his state, Gujarat, when he was the chief minister.
Let me interpret. What are they against exactly?
Well, they're against opening up as you know, it's a very nationalistic party in its history and its DNA.
You're saying they don't want to open it up to foreigners. I mean,
foreigners
that's what we're talking about,
as
right?
As well as private industry in several areas, like the coal reform that coal sector reform that Modi is pushing for. There's a big strike right now going on, and certainly the government doesn't want to see people rising up. This is one of the largest demonstrations, and this is the second day and scheduled to go for 5 days. So the party itself does not want conflict, and they're seeing it. And there's going to be more demonstrations against reform measures in India.
Change, as we know, we look at Japan, it's been hard for Abe. Here in America, President Obama tried to make a lot of changes his first couple of years in office, a lot of pushback. I mean, it is very difficult. For Modi, for this to all work out well for him, what does he have to do? Does he need to reach out to the opposition party, or can he say, look, this is proof, look at the numbers, this is proof what I'm doing is working?
I think both. And he has reached out to the opposition. Congress has recently said, we are supporting this insurance sector reform, which, by the way, was their idea too. They couldn't pass it, so this is Modi's chance. But at the same time, he has to go with the grassroots movements, the reform measures. Look, he introduced a lot of interesting measures out there that a lot of people didn't think he would. One includes e-governance, where companies are now filing for license application over the internet. That cuts down on corruption issues, that makes it more accountable, and transparency is there to something we did not think about India.
One thing that has surprised me, and I assume a lot of other people, is sort of the foreign outreach, if you will. John Kerry, Secretary of State, was recently in India.
Second in 6 months, yep.
Talk about entrepreneurship. India's reached out to China, among many, many countries. And this is not something we usually talk about, but this sort of effort that they're doing, it seems to be working. Are we likely to see more of it?
We will, but the signs were there, right? When he was the chief minister in Gujarat, there were more Chinese investment in that state.
That's the local, that's the regional province.
Exactly, when he was the chief minister there in that state. The state, Gujarat, received more investment from China than India overall. So he does know, and he's known as actually a very business-friendly leader. So, and really he's raised the country's stature as well at these trips when he came here. Indian expats cheered him. And President Obama is going to India. And let's remember that Mr. Modi was not allowed to visit the United States. A year ago, he was blacklisted.
Yeah. Well, look. One of the biggest complaints about India in the past has been it's not investor friendly. A lot of red tape, a lot of hassle, very difficult to put money in there. You don't know who to give to, and the money just disappears somehow. I mean, there's a lot of issues, right? So things have gotten a little bit better, I'll give you that. But how much better does it really have to get to before it kind of gathers its own momentum and when we see concrete, if you will, progress?
The reforms need to continue. Look, he merged several ministries to increase decision-making time and get more investments, cut the red tape. He's doing these. Investors are seeing that. My worry is that investors are convinced that this is going to take place, but they're only convinced that it's happening in the short term. For middle to long term, He has to work with the opposition, and he's shown very good tendencies that he will, and create the confidence that this is going to continue. And I think it will, barring exogenous shocks with the economy, macroeconomic fundamentals. I think India's future is good. We're looking at it. We're very bullish on it, and it's going to be the best brick in 2015.
All right, we're going to hold you to this. The best brick in 2015.
I'll be back.
Somehow I know you'll be back. Saruhan, thank you very much.